Lightenstar. The sun barely had enough courage to peek round the clouds as the wind teared the leaves from the trees. A teenage boy strolled, holding his hat so that it didn't fly away from his head. Suddenly, the sound of lightning erupted his ears. The boy turned around. Lightning was hovering over a tree. With eyes opened wide, the boy ran to his house and told his mom, "Lightning's hovering over a tree." "Lost in your daydreams," she would say. "Go to your room." Lionel sat there. Raindrops were falling on his bedroom window. He soon fell asleep. The next morning, the sun was shining brightly, but Lionel didn't go out. He was watching the news on the TV, which he normally didn't. The reporter was saying, "We have been informed from Alexima that a strong force had taken over the town. Now the force is close to Possum. Stay safe, folks." Lionel shut down the TV and sighed. His mom looked at him. "There's a war coming, isn't there?" he said. "Yes," his mom said grumpily. And even though he was not looking at her, he knew that she had pulled a stressed face. "We're probably going to take refugees somewhere," Mom shrugged. "No!" cried Lionel. "It's the only way," Mom replied. As the battle grew nearer, Lionel got more worried every day. Tanks were being made, huge machine guns were getting ready, and a wall was built around the city to protect it. Lionel stared out of his window, hoping the force would be defeated before it came to Possum Town. But no, the protections grew even stronger, and there was no sign of the battle not happening. One morning, Lionel thought that little sparks were coming out of his hands, but he wasn't very curious about it. He just convinced himself that it was just his imagination. On the day of the war, most people had moved out from this town already, but as the military soldiers tried to pull Lionel and his mom to safety out of the town, Lionel struggled out of the soldiers' grip and ran away from the gate. Just then, a rumble shook the ground. Soon there was an army of ugly soldiers charging towards the town, like angry bulls. They had crimson, bulging eyes, jagged yellow teeth, and pale brown skin. They wore stained metal armor, which was clanking as they ran. They each held either a metal sword, club, hammer, axe, or a spear. The military soldiers raised their guns, but it was too late. Before any of the soldiers even had a chance to shoot, the other army had pushed them aside with their weapons. Now the ugly army was barging into the town, destroying houses, chopping down trees. The people who were still in the city screamed and screeched. Tanks were raised, but they were crushed before they even got a proper aim. Only a few bullets touched the army's ugly soldiers. A huge roar of laughter echoed in Lionel's ears. He looked up. A figure was gliding in mid-air. Lionel could not see anything supporting the figure. Something came out of the figure's hand. Crush! A bolt of lightning had collided onto a huge building and had broken a huge chunk of it. It was he, the one flying, the menacing figure who had created the bolt of lightning. A bolt of anger rose in him like a virus. He wanted to get up to the figure and destroy him once and for all. Then a voice said inside his head, "Stay calm." Lionel closed his eyes and tried to calm himself down. A few moments later, he could not feel the ground. He opened his eyes. He was floating in mid-air. Surprised, Lionel flapped his arms, and like a rocket, he zoomed up. When he wanted to stop, he was floating exactly where he had stopped flying. Lionel stopped. He looked down below. He was already about 500 feet from the ground. Another roar of laughter. He looked at the man flying. He wanted to destroy him. Without thinking what he was doing, Lionel lifted his hand, pointing towards the man. A huge shot of electricity just missed the man's head as he dodged it. The man turned around quickly. He had a frightening frown, a pointy nose, messy dark hair, and staring brown eyes that dug despair into one's soul. "So, you are the only one in this whole planet who is a match for me," said the man terrifyingly. Then he broke into a roar of unexpected laughter. "So you have finally discovered your power. Join me and we will rule the world together," offered the man. "Me, owner, and you." "Never!" shouted Lionel, and 2 shots of lightning clashed against each other. Lionel was very furious, but he remembered what the voice inside his head had said. He took a deep breath in and out, so he felt a lot calmer. Just after that, his eyes glowed, his body shone, and his power grew. The mean smirk on Owner's face was wiped off. He struggled to make his power stronger. Lionel's power was too strong. Then, crash! Lionel's lightning had hit Owner, and he was dead as he fell to the ground. All the ugly soldiers turned to dust that blew away with a strong wind. Again, the town was built. It took some months, but it soon was completed. And after all this, the whole town nicknamed Lionel Lightenstar, which he quite liked.